Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court podcast host Cortez Paul, along with my co-host Kevin Carter. I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it, at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You can go to our YouTube channel. That's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Balls Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul is here. Kevin Carter over StreamYard. Kevin Carter, how you doing today, sir?
I am doing fine.
Good to hear you, man. Mr. Paul Mack is also joining us on StreamYard. How you doing, Paul?
What up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Hey, doing fantastic, man. So this is our first premiere going video. We've been going audio. So we want to switch it up and try to, get some clips on YouTube and get to see my face, get to see Paul's face. Kevin, we're a little bit working on, but eventually you'll hear his.
You can see my
commentary.
face through a picture.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
Still
It still
counts.
counts. That's my
there it
face.
is, but he does provide great commentary as usual. So thanks for your patience for all those who was waiting. I was waiting until I get moving and settle to my own place to start get back podcasting again. And it's great to have my own place to get it all set up and get it rolling. So we're gonna get some content out, and it's great. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to have Kevin with me, and I'm glad to have Paul joining us. So we're looking to push this in bigger, better places. So thanks for bearing with us, and we're excited to be back. Matter of fact, Kevin, what's going on soon, man? Like, talk to me, man.
Do you feel it in the air? I know you feel it in the air. There's not a cool tinge because we're in Florida, so there's not going to be a coolness in the air until a fall-like setting, until maybe October, November. But you can smell the freshly cut grass. You can see the colors now of people walking around in their jerseys and their T-shirts, and still they're shorts here in Florida, but all the colors are starting to move around. The anticipation is in the air. The shit talking has definitely begun, and it's because, my friends, football season is back.
How joyous is that? I'm telling
And
you, it's so good to have football back.
We have football back. Sure, we've had the FIBA World thingy-mabob or whatever's going on. Cortez don't like waking up early in the morning unless it's to watch FIBA basketball and the USA team that we only know like 4 people on. But
so I will say this to cut you off. I'm sorry. They do have a game at 4:00 in the morning, and I have to be up to watch CCTV for our job site anyway, so that's my excuse to be able to watch basketball. But I don't want to talk about basketball. We got football going on.
Shout out CCTV.
And I'm calling bull. And I'm calling bullshit that he wouldn't have been awake at 4:30 in the morning, even if he didn't have CCTV going on. But never mind. It is that time of year, fellas. It is that time of year. It's that good old football season. And my football season kicked off. Football season kicked off pretty well. I'm gonna tell my little story real fast, Cortez. You've seen the pictures. And this is a big shout out to my hometown team. They did a military appreciation day at the practice. It was a few weeks back. So basically it was, you got nominated by either yourself or your peers. So I had to nominate myself. And they had about 90-something veterans and active military and everything to come down on the field after the practice. So we get there and we get our little booklets. More importantly, they gave us $40 worth of food. So that was the more important thing, which at a Jaguars game only got you 2 sodas and a cheesesteak. But I digress. So we get there. They give us all these little cool things and everything. They give us a $30 clear bag, which was pretty cool. So we got to go down on the field right after the practice. All the players walk to one side. We come in, go to the other sideline. Guy behind me goes, "Man, I really want to talk one of them into giving me a jersey." So about the time we walking out on the field, I look over. They're taking off their jerseys. I looked at the dude and said, "Well, you're about to get one. You just don't know what player you're going to get." So me being the way I am, I'm walking real slow in the line, trying to eyeball across the field who's going to be across from me. Because God knows I don't want to get no fourth string offensive tackle that got cut today. I want somebody that I'm going to enjoy getting a jersey. So I stop, look across. I'm either getting one or two people. I'm either getting Christian Kirk or I'm getting Evan Ingram. We walk across. Evan Ingram's the dude I get. Super nice guy. And then he remembered us because when we took Austin for his birthday, he signed Austin's birthday stuff and everything like that and sat there and talked to us for a minute. Super cool dude. Got his jersey and everything. Then got to meet Trevor and all that stuff. So big shout out to the Jaguars for letting us go and do that. It was a real cool day. Probably one of the coolest experiences I've gotten with the Jaguars, besides being on the field when they did the opening intros and getting to swim in the swimming pools while Cortez got drunk, even though it was my turn to do it.
Hey, I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, cool story. So, hey, let's start it off with the question, like, what are y'all plans for September 7th? And let's start off with Paul. What's your plans, man? I know this is a big day for everybody in an American household when it comes to football being back. What's on the itinerary for Mr. Paul Mack?
I mean, I was excited until I saw the game that's on September the 7th. But I mean, it's football. Football's back, so I'm gonna have the underdog fantasy ready to roll. Decided to make some picks and make some money this season, but I'm more looking forward to the actual September 11th football games. But I'll give September 7th a shot, even though it's not ideal for me. I mean, was the Chiefs versus the Lions?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm excited that football's back. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't really care who's playing. I tried the other night to watch preseason football for the first time this year, and I think I made it about 2.5 minutes, and then I decided that I was gonna call that one quits after a while. So I did my due diligence. I got some film in. But I'm just excited. I'm ready for football to be back. It's the best time of year, and yeah, man, it's here. Another week or so where we're deep in it, and I'm excited. It's always the best time.
Gotcha. Kev, what you got planned? What's on the itinerary for you, sir?
I get to put the projector to work. I'm gonna strap the little Roku device to the projector, and I'm gonna put it on the TV or on the wall. You Cortez has lived with me before, so you know the living room wall, right? Where I had all my toys and crap.
You have your big white sheet ready?
Yes, they gave me the big white sheet. Actually, it came with a big white sheet, so it's all set up. Got it on. Cortez, it takes up that whole wall in the living room.
Oh wow!
So 120 inches of football goodness is what I'll have on there. But that's after I get done with my trivia show that I got to do every Thursday.
Shameless plug.
Out at V's Pizza in Fernandina Beach. If you live in the Jacksonville area, come out there for Name That Tune Trivia. I host it every Thursday at 7 o'clock. This is my show, so I can plug my other show on my show. So there you go.
No free shout-outs.
Tap in. Well, this is a big week coming up for me next week with NFL, and also there's a game coming out before that I've been waiting on Starfield. So that week just gonna be a whole lot of eating bad and everything like that. But for me, I'm definitely gonna go out somewhere and get some wings, find a good wing spot to go to, because I'm off on Thursday. So the only football games I can really sit down and watch is on Thursday. So it is fitting for me that I can be able to go ahead and watch this game. So I'm super excited for that.
And it's got your favorite team playing in it.
So, but no, it's always a fun time when football's around. It's one of those that I grew up playing high school football. I didn't want to go any further because I respect the guys that still play it. It's a grueling sport. But I'm super excited to see what we have in here. There's so many storylines that we're going to dive into. So many couple new faces bouncing around. And it's all
really
about some team that
old.
was there's some up and coming teams that really took the lead by surprise. That made some jumps. So I'm just super excited to get into the storylines, see who the surprise is going to be, see who the flop's going to be. It's just we can talk football again, NCAA and NFL. So I'm just super excited to get my weekends back. For the most part, when I be working, I just probably listen to on the radio. But my Thursdays, I'm definitely going to be catching some games and enjoying them. So I'm super excited for NFL to be back, and I'm glad to have you guys to talk through with football. So, all right, so let's get to some of the headlines here. New York State of Mind. To y'all, what does Aaron Rodgers' arrival mean for
Oh
the
my
Jets?
God, really? We're going to start off with this shit? We aren't ESPN. We don't start off with Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. Who cares? His old ass is going to a division that's being ran by a bunch of young people now. The best thing they got is he's going to a team that has a really, really good defense. Other than that, I could give two shits about Aaron Rodgers, and I'm tired of hearing about Aaron Rodgers. That's all I've got to say.
Paul, what you think? I know you root for the other New York team, so what do you think about Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, have either of you guys checked out Hard Knocks this year? Have any of you guys looked at any of that?
No, because all it's about is Aaron Rodgers. So no.
Go into your point, Paul.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, but what are you gonna do, man? I mean, did you see the Jets last year? Great defense.
Yeah, I watched them.
I think they had 7 different guys throw a pass for them last year. So I mean, it'd be nice to see how they are with a consistent quarterback. I mean, the defense is great, and the head coach looks kind of like Xerxes from 300. But like, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, the guy. At the end of the day, the guy has the best ability in the league, and its availability. The guy doesn't miss football games.
So this is my concern.
Guy's consistent every year. You know, even on a really bad Green Bay team, I mean, he still does things, and I mean, it's no coincidence that he got Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard to go over there with him. So he has a little bit of comfortableness over there. And they had the offensive rookie of the year last year as a wide receiver too. They picked up Dalvin Cook. So I mean, they got a lot going on. It's an interesting story. The division right now, obviously, probably still runs through Buffalo, but it'll be interesting to see what a significant MVP caliber quarterback can do for that football team under that coaching with that defense. I mean, I think they lost a lot of close games last year, and Aaron Rodgers isn't a guy to turn the ball over too much. So I mean, they're going to be in a lot of football games. But we'll see. I mean, I enjoy some of it. I mean, again, the Aaron Rodgers stuff gets a little bit much sometimes. I mean, but well, it's always a good time when New York's in the headlines. When New York's, regardless if it's the Giants or the Jets or whoever it is, when they're in the news and they have high hopes for them, we'll see what happens. So
unless you really don't care about New York.
Well, I will say this. Of course, they got Sauce Gardner, and that dude's probably one of the better back in the fields there. I just worry about their offensive line. That seems to be a problem with them. I know he was trying to get his old offensive line over there, Bakari, back over there, trying to. What he did some kind of like mess. I know. Listen, Kevin's right. ESPN is drilling it, and I get it. But I'm just interested because Aaron Rodgers, the player, he is that type of talent. I'm just like we seen what he can do with teams less than what he had. So like, regardless of that, this dude is still a talent. He just happened to go to one of the biggest markets that's pretty much in the nation. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing with it all. Is it going to be Peyton Manning going to the Broncos, where on the back end of his career, the Broncos were still able to get stuff out of Peyton? Or is it going to be one of those other guys going somewhere else and then it just goes to poop? And that's going to be the big thing to look at with this. Is Father Time going to catch up on him? Is all the peyote or whatever he's been taking going to catch up on him? And all the hallucinogens and going into dark places for a while, is all that stuff going to catch up to Aaron? Or is he going to be able to make something out of it? Because he's in one of the toughest divisions in football to even try to make the playoffs out of. So that's going to be the big tell about them. I was just kidding that we were ESPN and they talked about it, but they talked about it way too much.
No, but you're right. That division is tough. They got Buffalo.
Very
they
tough.
got Miami Dolphins. If Tua stay healthy, so like, you already got a Bill Belichick coach team. Depending, what Matt Jones' progression may be. Does he kind of put his act together a little bit? I know he struggled with a different offensive coordinator.
Well, when your offensive coordinator is a defensive coordinator, yeah, you're all you were all screwed then.
Yeah, so for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happened here. Let's move on to the next topic here. Super Bowl champ, the Super Bowl representative last year, and the Chiefs who ended up winning the Super Bowl. Who has a better chance of getting back to the Super Bowl? Is it the Chiefs or the Eagles? And Kevin, I'll start with you.
It's the Eagles. The Eagles have a better chance. See, we're talking chances. The Eagles have a better chance just because of where they're coming out of. The Chiefs, they've got to go through hell in the AFC to get back there. The Eagles, not so much. So I would give the Eagles the better chance of going to it. Not saying that the Chiefs don't have a good chance, because they're the Chiefs, and until somebody beats them, they're still going to be those guys. But they've got a hell of a road to come out of with everybody they're going to be running into in the AFC.
Yeah. Paul, what's your thoughts on that?
Again, as you stated before, being a New York Giants fan, I'm gonna go ahead and say the Chiefs probably have a better shot at getting to the Super Bowl, only because their roster has not changed much over the last handful of years. They got Andy Reid is their coach, Patrick Mahomes is still their quarterback, and regardless of there's a lot of up and coming teams in the AFC, but it's to go play in Kansas City in a playoff game is just really hard. I know the the Bengals and those teams are on the rise, but it's really going to boil down to, I think, injuries. I think if the Chiefs stay healthy, it all roads run through there. I mean, Buffalo's yet to show they could win a big game. I know a lot of people picked the Chargers last year to do well. They just fizzled out as well. It's just hard to maintain it, and I think the Chiefs just know when to hit the gas that a lot of the other teams don't, and they can literally just flip a switch at any point. And that's the most frightening part about that football team, is that they can literally at any point in time hit a switch, string off 5, 6, 7 in a row. They might lose 1 or 2, then they'll go win another 3, 4 in a row. And they just know when to win football games to just get the momentum. They know it's important to get home field. They know how important that advantage is for them. And then as far as the Eagles go, I just feel like last year they plateaued. That was like their peak. I don't think they can get through. I mean, they'll probably win the division again. I mean, even as a Giants fan, I'll say that they are the most complete team, at least in that division. Out of the whole NFC, it's really hard to think of a team that's like, oh, this team's up and coming in the NFC. I mean, Minnesota does well, and then these are just teams that can't win in the postseason. So regardless of what stats show, but I just think that Kansas City is going to be the team to beat until somebody beats them. And the last person to do that was Tom Brady, and he's on a yacht somewhere doing something, doing crunches and eating TB12 B12 juice or something. I don't know what he's doing nowadays, but
He's in
that
Las
was the last
Vegas
time.
yelling at his players. He's in Las Vegas yelling at his players.
Whatever. He's doing whatever. He's doing whatever he wants. He's doing whatever he wants. But either way, he's not around to help beat Kansas City. And no one's gonna. I don't know. Where's the Super Bowl at this year? Do we know?
I don't even remember.
Let's look it up.
Because I mean, obviously Tampa had the privilege of having home field advantage in the Super Bowl when they won, so that was a nice little deal. But again, I just think that going into Arrowhead in January, February is just really difficult. So
Las Vegas.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
It's in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's just hard to pick against Kansas City right now if we're only picking between those two teams. I think the Eagles will do well, but again, Jalen Hurts, if he could stay healthy, maybe, but it's going to be Kansas City's championship to lose just because a lot of the other teams haven't proven they could win big games yet. So until someone wins a big game, you can give it to them, but I'm going to take Kansas City every time.
To add to that, I'm going to go listen, Kansas City, is Chris Jones, his contract, he's still in a dispute with his contract, right?
Yeah, he's sitting out. They put him on the PUP list.
So that's a big loss for them. And
huge loss.
Yeah, so and in this division that's got like a young budding talent, that's a problem. Listen, their own division too is stacked. So for them, and then you got to think about the teams that they play outside. Now, I will say this for the Eagles. The Eagles' schedule last year was easy, super easy. This year is tough. Their schedule is tough. So I think you got a point, Paul. Maybe the Eagles' cohesion there. They still, maybe they had that schedule a little bit too easy. I wonder if some of these teams. There's a couple of teams in NFC that can probably make them a little bit sweat a little bit. I'm looking at, even their own division, Dallas, even your team, the Giants, even their division is tough. You go and look at, Detroit Lions. They're on the rise too. That's a young team that's on the rise and get a berth.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Brock Purdy. He come back healthy. You got options there. I just think it really depends. That whole Chris Jones situation kind of set me back, on the Chiefs right now, and they're going to be playing a lot of catch up with a lot of talented teams in the AFC. So I'm definitely watching, how quickly can they resolve that Chris Jones situation, because as Kevin mentioned, he is crucial to their defense. Crucial. Kevin, you want to add anything?
No, that's pretty much it.
I mean, if you look at even so much as the first 6 games for the Eagles, they're at New England, then they got Minnesota, at Tampa, Commanders, then Rams, then they roll into Jets, Dolphins, Commanders again, Dallas. Then they play Kansas City, Buffalo, 49ers, Dallas. So their schedule is front loaded to be pretty good, where they can probably win 5-6 games, and it's going to really be a matter of the back end of their schedule. They don't really have a hard schedule aside from the Chiefs, Bills, 49ers in 3 weeks in a row. They literally go to Kansas City, home Buffalo, to home against 49ers, then to Dallas. So that stretch right there will probably be the toughest part of their schedule. It's not until after the halfway point. So I mean, it's still not a difficult schedule for the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I still like to count because the NFC East is always a bloodbath. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. The Commanders surprise them. Would not surprise me one bit. I just know that. I mean, you can speak more than I can, this Paul, about your division and stuff like that. It's always one of those games, especially in the NFC East, that somehow the lowest teams end up being like one of the top 1 or 2 teams in that division, and it's just a weird way to explain it. And but no, for sure, like I said, I just think you're right. If the Eagles got to get off to a good start, because that division near the end, or that schedule near the end of it can they got create some breathing room. But like I said, then the NFC, and so we'll see what they do with it, man. Yeah.
And then just to counterpoint that, the Chiefs start off at playing Detroit, then they go to Jacksonville,
Lost.
then home against the Bears, then they go to the Jets, then they go to Minnesota, then they play the Broncos at home, Chargers at home, back to Denver, home against Miami, then they play the Eagles on November 20th. So, that's your kicker there, right around the little just past the midway point. Each team should probably have a couple losses if they play their cards right. So you're looking at each team should probably be, 5-2, somewhere around there, going into a head-to-head against each other. And then, it's not the Chiefs' schedule also gets a little harder towards the end. They play the Raiders twice, they play Buffalo, they play the Bengals, and they end the year against the Chargers. So, both teams kind of have a front stacked schedule where it's pretty light getting through the midway point. So you'll really know closer towards the 3/4 of the way through the season where each team's at. But I just think Kansas City's the better team.
Oh yeah, nah. With Pat Mahomes, listen, it ain't possible that dude on your team, and I'm unfortunate to see that twice a year in my division. So I already know anything's possible with that dude. All right, so one phrase.
The big thing with the Eagles is, can they do what they did last year on the defensive side of the ball? That's going to be their big thing. They led the NFL in sacks. They had 4 or 5 guys that were in double-digit sack numbers and the most pressures in the league. That's as good as Hurts and all them guys were on that side of the ball. If they can do that same kind of stuff they done on the defensive side of the ball throughout the year, they're going to continue to have a good year. And that's where the Chiefs, everybody loves offense now. Chiefs offense, incredible. Their defense has always been that Achilles heel for them. And just like in the Super Bowl, they had to just come back and outscore Philly and get a couple of things that go their way, which they seem to always do. But it's one of those things, and especially the loss of Jones, that's just big because he came up huge in the Super Bowl. So it's just one of those things. I trust the road the Eagles have more than I would trust the road that Kansas City has. Even though if you're going to knock Kansas City off, you got to knock them off. But I just trust that road that the Eagles probably will have more than I do the road that the Chiefs will have. Because the Chiefs can be beat in Kansas City, because we've seen it.
For sure. Is this the year that Buffalo get over the hump? Is this the year that Miami come onto the scene?
No.
Jacksonville's up and coming too.
Yes.
So yeah.
Tua's learned how to fall down, guys. You better be careful.
Yeah, he did. Tua's learned how to stop, drop, and roll like he's on fire.
That's right. So he should be okay.
Protect that, man. So, all right, one phrase to describe the AFC conference. Kev, what do you describe this conference? Like, what's a phrase that come to mind when you describe the AFC conference this upcoming season?
A whirlish tornado of samurai swords coming at you at about 130 miles per hour. That is what I describe the AFC as, because it is a loaded conference as far as quarterback goes. And it's scary. Like coaching, quarterbacking, all of that stuff. The AFC is stacked from 1 to 8.
Yeah. Paul, your one phrase to describe the AFC conference.
I get to follow that.
Elaborate on it. Hey.
A whirling tornado of samurai swords?
That's a nice one.
That's a thing. All right. they're just the big brother picking on the little brother all the time. That's all it is. It's just they're just the bullies of the league right now. I mean, obviously Tampa won it a few years ago, but like Kevin said, all the top QBs are in the AFC. The better coaching's in the AFC. It's just elite on that side of the conference. It's not, there's nothing even comparable. Like, to try to pick, a handful of teams that have a shot at the Super Bowl, you could probably list off half the dang conference. And it's just wild that it's that separated from the NFC. That there's literally, you're gonna have three teams maybe that you could name that have a shot out of the NFC, maybe four, but the AFC is just stacked, and they're just, until someone punches them in the nose, it's just going to be the AFC's title to lose, I think.
When you look at the top 10 power rankings everywhere, and 8 of the 10 teams are from one conference, and then the other 2 are just there, it's insane.
Yeah. Me to describe the AFC conference, it's a gauntlet, it's a bloodbath. Literally, you look at some of these teams, and like I say, you got Kansas City, who's cream of the crop, Buffalo, who's trying to find a way and get over the hump, Miami, they started off well until Tua went down with an injury. Then you got Jacksonville, who came onto the scene and upset a really good Chargers team. Then even the Steelers, their preseason was impressive. Like, they gonna come along. Like, they're a good team. So there's gonna be a couple of teams that's gonna be on the outside looking in that's gonna have above 500 records. There's a lot of questions with listen, the Broncos got a good coaching move, so are they gonna come back to form, or are they gonna fizzle? I don't know. The AFC is really, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably forgetting some teams, but that's how
we didn't even mention the Ravens. The Ravens.
Exactly. See, and that's why I forgot about the Ravens.
The Jets, as much as they've been talked about, you've got right. It's just, you've got all these teams that are just, it's just insane that you get to just put these guys in these discussions now. I'm just like, can we switch conferences real fast just for a year? That way we can get there and just be done with it.
Exactly. So, oh man, but no, the AFC is going to be fun to watch.
I just thank God we're in the worst division in the AFC. That way we be happy for that. Yeah.
Way to look at it positively, Kevin.
I am looking at it damn positive. We have 2 rookie quarterbacks and Ryan Tannehill to deal with. I am looking at it very positively.
There we go. All right. Do we all agree on the top 3 teams on NFC? I want to see where we're at. Who's y'all top 3 teams in NFC? Kevin, you can start off with that.
Eagles. I think it's Eagles. I think it's San Fran. Never want to put Dallas up there because they always do what Dallas does. They're the Chargers of the NFC. They do a greater choke job than anybody else. I don't know, because I think there's going to be a dark horse that nobody's talking about that's going to come out of the NFC and come out of nowhere and shoot up the ranks. I just can't name that third one that I think is going to do it, because I don't trust Minnesota. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins one iota. As soon as the lights come on, Kirk Cousins puts his shirt on and runs off somewhere, or takes his shirt off and runs somewhere.
Kirko Chains, man.
Exactly. Yeah, but he becomes no chains and hide whenever the lights come on. So those are my top 2 teams. I guess if I had to put a third one up there, Cowboys maybe. But like I said, their whole division, is stacked as well outside of Washington. But yeah, I just think it's going to be one of those, a team that you don't expect to do anything, kind of like the Saints or somebody like that, just to shoot up out of nowhere.
Gotcha. Paul, who's your top three, and who's your sleeping giant?
Hey, the Giants are my sleeping giant. Okay, let's just throw that out there right
Giant, sleeping giant.
That's right. Are they a top 3 team? No. Can they win a couple big games? Maybe sneak into a wild card. Probably. Maybe. I'm hoping. I'm not looking for anything too crazy. Just get me a 9-7 or something. All right. Whatever. Just something close. Just not a losing season. I mean, Dable, great coach. We'll see what happens with Daniel Jones. But as far as the top 3 teams, obviously Philadelphia. I hate to say it. San Francisco. Actually, just because I'm gonna throw San Francisco on top of Philadelphia. So San Francisco. I'll say Philadelphia.
Just because he's a Giants fan.
I'll say San Francisco. As long as they have somebody to play quarterback in case Purdy gets hurt again, and then the backup gets hurt again, and then the backup to the backup gets hurt again. But again, like Kevin was saying, I really think New Orleans is going to be a team that can come out of nowhere. They got Derek Carr now as their quarterback. Good coaching. Alvin Kamara, hopefully stays healthy. Michael Thomas is healthy for the first time in like 3 years. So we'll see what happens with them. I just really think New Orleans is going to shock a lot of people coming out of the South. But this just shows how this conversation goes. It's just like you have 2 top teams, and then I can literally just throw spaghetti at the wall, and it doesn't really matter who else is there.
Yep.
But I mean, if I had to pick a third team, just because I'd have to pick another division winner, I'll say New Orleans. I'll say San Francisco, Philadelphia, New Orleans would be my 3, and then the Giants are 3B.
Okay. I think we all agree on the 2, Philadelphia and San Francisco. So I got that much. 3, I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think they're gonna come up. They're gonna be a really good team. They're gonna win their division.
Motor City Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I got them, man. I think they're gonna be nice. But my surprise team, I'm kind of watching what the Jordan Love Packers gonna do. He's got some weapons over there. They're a young team. You got an offensive mind coach that is pretty darn good. So I'm kind of watching them as my sleeping giant. The Giants and the Cowboys going to battle it out for. I think both of those teams are going to make the playoffs.
You can't have Green Bay if you're picking the Lions, man. They're in the same division.
No, but I'm saying there's my sleeping giant. That's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna surprise some teams because of the whole, Aaron Rodgers is gone. Just like the Seahawks did when we trade for Russell Wilson. So,
there's my third team. The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, so you don't think that was a fluke last year, Kev?
There's my third team. Is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Well, Geno's just the guy that really just doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything spectacular, but he doesn't do anything stupid.
That's fair.
He just does Geno things. He's consistent. And then you give him those weapons, he's just consistent. I think
you're the first person that said doing Geno things is a compliment to Geno Smith.
That is. Doing Geno things for Geno Smith is a compliment because the man is consistent. I wanted him to sign as a backup years ago here so he could even start it because we had absolutely no one, but they didn't do it. But he's just consistent. I've always liked him. Every time he came into a game, he would do something good for the team that he was coming in for, and he's just been that way. And now that he's given a shot with actual weapons, with actually good coaching, because Pete Carroll, legit, really good coach. I don't care what people say. He is a really, really good coach. And that they just do everything consistently, and there was no drop-off. Even though we thought it was going to go way downhill after Russell left, it just kept flowing like it usually does in Seattle. So, yeah, that'd be my third team.
I'm going to get Kevin a Geno G-yes on a shirt. I'm going to give that to him. You can wear that.
I did do that one game. I think I was watching it with Cortez when he came into the game, and I was like, Geno, G-yes.
That's right.
Yeah, he did. All right.
Also, I think the Rams might make a turnaround. I think the Rams might win some games. Again, they might be a team to look out for.
They just got to stay healthy. Yeah, they got to stay healthy because they're old.
They can stay healthy. Yeah, if they can stay healthy, that's a team to watch out for too. But
they sacrificed their Super Bowl win, and now they're looking like the Broncos back in 5 years ago. They traded away everybody that's old. Now they're old, so
they gave their soul away. They gave their soul away to get that Super Bowl, and then all this crazy stuff happened.
Do y'all think they'd be a part of the Caleb Williams sweepstakes here? It's another California product, maybe.
Oh my goodness! Too early to talk about Caleb. Caleb's going. This is exactly what Caleb's going to do. He's going to look down at the end of the college football season and go, "Who sucked the most?" And then he's going to see who it is, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going back to school." He makes about $4 million on his NIL deals out of school.
Yeah,
it ain't like he's got to leave.
All right, let's get into the next topic, and I go first since my team didn't make the playoff. This is the fan corner. We need to sell the people to our team, give your team a prep talk. So since my team did not make the playoffs, I go first. So yeah,
right.
Yeah. Playoff talk. What's that about? I don't know.
Playoffs.
I don't know what that's about. No, but all right, Denver Broncos. I got a mastermind of a coach in Sean Payton. I need y'all to get it together. The offensive line, Dalton Reisner, I need you to step up. I need Garrett Bowles to step up. I need you guys to get back. Javonte Williams, you back in shape. I need you to get it back, man. I know we've been linked to possibly trading for Jonathan Taylor, but I think that's crazy because we got Javonte Williams, who I think he's a really good running back. Just got to stay healthy. That offense need to come together. We need to make sure that we're blocking with Russell and Russell Wilson. I know everything was not in your favor last year, the coaching and a lot of things that, kind of everybody call you a Devo and was trying to, but we need you to come out here and play, man. We need you to come out and we got the highest paid payroll to our receivers, and Tim Packard is gone again. Our deep threat is gone again. So now relying on Marvin Mims, that veteran present, with Courtney Sutherland. We got Greg Dulich, great tight end from UCLA, had a fantastic rookie season. So I'm looking for that offense to step up. That defense, I already know what y'all gonna bring. Come on, we got Pat Surtain, the second, PS2. So I'm excited to see where he goes. We got Simmons over there playing in the safety. So our defense is solid, and our rotation there. We got Gregory on the D-line. So I'm excited for our defense. Our defense is gonna definitely win games, but we got to make sure we score over 16 points, because every time we got to 16 points and we held on to the lead, we couldn't score anymore, and the team come back. So I got frustrated watching my team last year when they capped out at 16 points. That's all we was getting. I need y'all to come out. I know it's preseason, and y'all smack the Rams. I haven't seen a 40-plus point game since Peyton Manning. I was super excited for that, even though it was preseason. So I want my team just play. Hey, we're in the gauntlet of a conference. If y'all can just get a wild card, I just need one of these wild card spots. I just need to know the feel in the playoffs again. I just don't know the feel in the playoffs. It's so lonely over here. But I'm gonna support you guys. I want y'all guys to show up. I'm gonna rep you guys. Looking to go into the game in Miami, and I'm rooting for you guys. So let's go Broncos. Follow Sean Payton League. Hey, let's bring it, man. Denver Broncos, country, Broncos country. Let's ride, baby. Let's ride.
Cortez, that was so energetic. That was so great. But don't you ever say, because you've been out of the playoffs for 2 freaking years, that you don't know what missing the playoffs is like. You shut your mouth.
Well, here we go.
You shut your mouth when you talk about missing the playoffs. Do you want me to go ahead and go, or do you want me to wait till last?
No, you go ahead. You're already starting. He's on his.
He said he's already starting. Let him go. Because, boy, if you want to talk about missing the playoffs, try 12 freaking years of missing the playoffs. See what that's like. Try not even having a glimpse of hope to get to the playoffs until that number 1 pick came to us. Not Trayvon Walker, but football Jesus. in Trevor Lawrence. We're not going to talk about the
Is that his actual nickname?
No. We can call him whatever we want to here. I call him Trev. You can call him Football Jesus. You can call him
He's like the kid from
Sunshine.
Remember the Titans. He's like he's like the guy from Remember the Titans.
Yeah, you can call him Sunshine. I call him our Savior here in Jacksonville, along with the right hand of our Savior in Doug Peterson. They have produced something that we haven't saw here in Jacksonville in so long, and that is a competent offense. And now we have the addition of Calvin Ridley. Now we bring back Christian Kirk. We bring back Zay Jones. We bring back Evan Ingram. We bring back Travis Etienne. We added ourselves a tank, for goodness sakes. Now we have the arsenal to go out and cause a ruckus, especially since we play in this division called the AFC South. Or as I like to call it, the AFC, Jacksonville, and everybody else. Because that's how it's going to be as long as Trevor Lawrence graces us with his presence on this football team. So, for everybody out there, just know that come February, I hope they got the fountain heated, because I will live up to my promise, and I will strip down to my skivvies and jump into that fountain if the Jacksonville Jaguars win a Super Bowl. And hopefully they do it soon, because I don't want to be really old and jump into it and heart attack because the water is so cold. But I'm expecting great things from you guys. What was that, Cortez? You said hashtag Broncos country, hashtag Broncos nation, whatever. The greatest hashtag in the NFL belongs to this team right here. And we all know what the hashtag is. It's hashtag Duval, because them boys is going to come this year. Yeah, we got a tougher schedule. But the thing is, hey, man, it's belief. It's something we haven't had in this city since the good old days of Fred Taylor and Mark Grunell and the Hall of Famer. Shout him out, Tony Baselli. But this is it's just a different feeling here in Duval now. Watching the preseason games, you actually saw something that looked like competence throughout the whole team. We actually have some type of depth that we've never had before. So I have total faith in this football team, and I'm just ready to get it.
Yes, sir. Good to hear, my man. Mr. Mack, John,
Sir.
Man, what you got? Talk to you guys.
I'm just gonna talk to one person in particular, and that is the defense. I just need the defense to just stop someone once, maybe twice. That's all I ask. If I can get 2 stops per game, hey, who knows? But last year the Giants scored about 21 points a game, and they gave up 22 and a half. So I'm excited for what they've done. Obviously, they could have handled the Saquon Barkley situation a little bit differently. I mean, you got to pay that guy. That's a franchise player to go along with your young quarterback. The addition of Darren Waller is going to be huge. Most of the pieces are still the same. You got Slayton and Shepard, and Isaiah Hodgins kind of showed up out of nowhere last year. They got Paris Campbell. So I'm not necessarily worried about the offense. I just need Daniel Jones to do what he did last year. Not make any bonehead plays. Put that Duke education to good use and just be smart. I trust that Daboll's play calling will allow that to happen. I don't think Daniel Jones will do anything too crazy. Obviously, he's a dual threat quarterback now. I mean, dude's got wheels. People need to look out for that. The guy can run. He ain't scared to run. But it's just gonna be the defense. I know we made some moves recently. We picked up Isaiah Simmons from Arizona. That's a versatile guy that we can put at an outside linebacker, at a free safety. You can kind of move him around the field a little bit. You need Thibodeau to stay healthy, stay on the field. You got Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, these guys up front. Xavier McKinney, if he stays healthy. So it's a lot of health issues, I think, with the Giants. They had a lot of guys get hurt last year. And for me, it's just they lost so many close games. Like, so many games decided by a field goal. So many games they just couldn't get a stop in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go. And it's just either manage the time a little bit better or just stop somebody. That's all that I ask. I don't want to, a Swiss cheese defense that's going to cost us football games. I mean, they could have easily won 3-4 more games last year if they just could have had a stop. It can't come down to the final drive of the game, whether you need Daniel Jones to lead you down the field and score, because that's not ideal either. But if you need your defense to make a stop, you're not necessarily confident that your defense can make a stop either. So it's a double-edged sword, and I like a lot of the moves we made. I like the core of the team. I like the offseason moves. I like bringing in Darren Waller as a tight end again. Once he can stay healthy, I think for the Giants, it's just going to be healthy. Just get those guys some milk, get them on the field. Meet them big and strong, and I'm excited for what could happen. I think they can really surprise some people this year, but it's really going to boil down to them just staying healthy and playing defense. I think if they can play defense, like you guys have mentioned all through this show, a lot of the top teams in the league play defense. And when it comes down to it, if you can't stop anybody in the fourth quarter or when there's 2 minutes to go in a game, you're not going to get very far. So for me, I'm fine with the offense. Daniel Jones is going to do what Daniel Jones does. Saquon's going to play to try to get a contract, whether it be with the Giants or with somebody else next year. But it's just going to be a matter of his defense sticking together, staying healthy, and making stops down the stretch. And I think that's the thing that I just want, is just us to have a lead and be able to hold on to it and not just have a bunch of seesaw games back and forth or play from behind, because I don't think our offense is able to play from behind. So I just need our defense to just show up typically, hopefully, towards the latter end of games instead of at the beginning. But that's, I don't have anything too crazy to say. Like, they lost a lot of close games. It's in the tape. If you watch it, I don't really have to give them too much of a pep talk. We won a couple Super Bowls in the last decade, so I'm cool. I don't have the Kevin syndrome.
Exactly.
So I'm not too crazy. I'm not gonna shout from the rooftops. Again, if I can get a close to 500 record, if I can sneak into the final wild card spot, that's good enough for me. I'm not looking for high hopes, high expectations, but I just need to see some defense played out of New York. I need Big Blue to do what they're known to do in those Super Bowl teams where they just play defense. Play defense, and then have a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. Although Eli kind of turned it over a little bit, but whatever. We'll pass that. But just play defense, keep us in the game, and just hold on to leads, because I can't sit here and have my phone going off that the other team kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired. I can't have that anymore. My heart can't handle that. So just play defense, and put ice box at middle linebacker if you have to. I don't care what you have to do. Just make a play on defense, and we'll be good to go.
This man said he couldn't keep up with all the last second. You think my heart had a good year last year? I almost died 4 times.
Hey, listen, last year as a Bronco fan, I was just disappointed. Every time they're like, they just find ways to lose. So, yeah, I kind of can relate. But, hey.
My team found ways to try to kill me.
All right, hey, can we do a Earth edition and bookmark it and come back to this at the beginning of at the end of the year?
Let's roll. These are always fun.
Gut feeling. Who is winning the Super Bowl? And I can go first. Y'all want me to go first?
Go ahead, Cortez. You go first. Go ahead.
Yeah.
My gut feeling, who will win the Super Bowl, is the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
They healthy. Good running game. Finally, he got some target he can throw the ball to besides Mark Andrews. And their defense has always been stout. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. Bookmark it. Will win the Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right, this is the New York in me, even though it's not New York and it's basically Canada. But I'm gonna go Buffalo. I think this is the year Buffalo comes through. I'm gonna put all my faith in Josh Allen, Bills Mafia. I just think that it's their time. They're riding the wave of everything that happened to them last year. As long as everything seems to stay fine up there, I think this is the year that they turn the corner. I think Josh Allen's gonna break the Madden curse. I don't think he's gonna get hurt. I think he's gonna have a career season, and I'm gonna say that Buffalo beats Kansas City in the AFC Championship to get to the Super Bowl.
Mr. Carter.
Bookmark it. Write it down. Chisel it and whatever. But damn it, the goddamn Jacksonville Jaguars are going to win the freaking Super Bowl in about a couple of years. Next year.
You son of a.
Next year, I'm putting, if I got to, Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh.
When Joe Burrow gets back, because you don't know when he's going to get back, but when he gets back, they are going to make that push. The thing is, while he's gone, can they do enough to stay in the conversation? But when he gets back, I think they make that push to go a little farther. Buffalo, I can't believe in them, just because when they get to that certain point, it's like something happens to Buffalo that just goes stupid. Like they don't win a coin toss. That something goes wrong. They have something with the Hamlin situation happens, makes them where they lose out on a football game that they should have had at home or the way. There's something always screwy comes up for Buffalo every single time. And I don't know it. But the Bengals, they've proven they can beat Kansas City in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. But if my pick ain't the Bengals, then I will. Or if it wasn't the Bengals, I was going to pick the Jaguars, but then I thought about it because Paul ruined the moment and went Jacksonville. And I was like, I had to think on my feet and go somewhere else. But my original pick was Jacksonville. But the Bengals, I think, do have a really, really good chance, because we could all pick Kansas City just because. But it's never fun at this time to go with the obvious. It's always fun to go out with that thing that you have faith in.
Yeah, Kevin. After your pep talk about Jacksonville, you think they're going to win the NBA Finals? They're going to win the NCAA title. They're going to win all of it. They're going to win.
They're going to win March Madness. They probably do got a pretty good basketball team, but they will not win the NBA championship. They will win the world championship. Damn it.
Oh, okay. They're going to be the pickleball champions. They're going to win the Ryder Cup. They're going to do all.
Hey, you laugh your ass off, but we will play. They have a pickleball freaking tournament before one of the games this year. They have a pickleball tournament before one of the games. They have a cornhole tournament before one of the games. Oh, yeah. Jaguars are going to win all kinds of stuff. They're going to win the putt-putt championship. Even that world tag stuff that they have, that thing where they just run around the obstacles and they try to tag people, they going to win that because they got really fast people. Oh, yeah. They're going to win the players, goddammit. We're going to have 4 guys out there golfing. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen, we'll do the NFL picks next week because we're already at 57 minutes. And
but this is the perfect time for everybody to have optimism about their football team. That's what this time of year is about, is to have optimism in your football team.
Yeah, Cortez, you can't put a time limit on happiness.
Trust me, you can, and it's about 12 years.
I mean, for me, it's about 6 weeks, and then that's gone out the window, so it's fine.
Hey, well, listen, man, I was really boating my chest out last year, begin this time, and I got humbled very quickly. Oh, yeah, my Broncos got a real good chance. We're going to beat Kansas City. Well, no. No.
He said, no.
Sit down. Be humble. Literally what happened. Sit down.
The first game happened. I remember Cortez going, "What the fuck is this?"
Like I was already out after week 1. I was I was so optimistic.
He went, what happened to Russell Wilson? And I went, you want to know what happened? Shitty coach.
Kevin was very big on the thing hacking.
Nathaniel Hackett sucks big, gigantic balls.
He's with the Jets now, by the way. He's on.
And that's another reason why I'm not big on the Jets either.
Well, he's a coordinator now, so maybe he'll be okay.
I don't care. Big, hiney balls. Big, gigantic.
Oh man. Kev, before we go, man, I want to do one. Like I said, we're at an hour. I want to do one more segment with you because I want you to talk about.
Wait a minute. Do you want me to talk about Thursday?
Absolutely.
Do you want me to talk about Thursday, where all these people are doubting a certain team this year, saying they only going to win 4 games, and that the head coach is already on the chopping block after his second year, and that these ain't the guys that everybody is scared of anymore? Is that what you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about the Gators, buddy.
Look here.
Let's go.
Look here. Them boys, do I expect them to be there for the national championship? No. Do I expect them to win 4 games? Hell no. I expect them to win way more than 4 games. Do I expect them to come in and scare the shit out of a lot of teams that shouldn't be scared? Hell yes, I do. Because there's something called, it's just, you don't make a Division I football team, a Power 5 football team, if you ain't halfway decent at it. You know what I mean? You don't make it to coach any of these teams if you ain't halfway decent with it. Yes, last year, completely an anomaly. You had a team that had no talent on it because Dan Mullen didn't like recruiting no one whatsoever. So this guy had to bring in his transfers and some of his guys. And his guys were the best people on the team. Not Dan Mullen's guys. The guys that Billy Napier brought in were his best players on his team. Now they have a team where they brought in 40-something players that are now Billy Napier's guys. So I expect them to come out and I expect them to play well. I expect them to be in the games just like they were last year, but to win ones that they're supposed to win. You're not supposed to lose to Vanderbilt. You're not supposed to lose to Kentucky. You're not supposed to lose to those kinds of teams. You're supposed to come out and you're supposed to insert your dominance because you are the University of Florida. So you're supposed to come out and play these games and not care what people think about you. And that's the big thing that they need to worry about, and they need to put that chip on their shoulder. They need to go, look, all these people are doubting you. All these people around the country are saying you're a 3, 4, 5 win team. Go prove them wrong. You got people that right now are going to be going, this would be my pep talk to them if I was there before the game. You got people right now in your state that are going to go through a hurricane, that are going to go through a tragedy on Wednesday. Thursday night, all them eyeballs are going to be on you because they want to have that time away from the stuff that just happened to them. If there was a big tragedy, if something happened, if they lost something during this storm, they want to be able to turn that TV on and watch you guys go out there and play your asses off for the orange and blue and for Florida. So these people will have just that 4 hours away from whatever is going on in their life. You guys need to go out here and play your asses off, not just for yourselves, not just for your teammates, before the state and before your city, because Gainesville is going to get hit hard. You need to go out there and you need to show these people that y'all are way better than what everybody is saying you are. Grant Mertz, you've been called bad. You've been called not great. You've been called that I don't know why they went after this guy. Go show them why they went after this guy. Run the ball down their throat like we know y'all can do. Just go out there and play Gator football and make us all proud. And that's all you can do. And I think they're just going to be. I think they're going to be better than what everybody thinks, because I don't think no way in Florida football should it be a 4-win team, because there's
Yeah, I'd
just
be
too much
shocked.
talent and too much
I'd be
speed
shocked.
and too much athleticism on that field for the Gators that they ain't gonna win. They're gonna win. They're gonna win more than 4 games. But just go
Yeah.
out there and beat the shit out of Utah, and let's start off with that.
Hey, starting a good note. I'm with that, man. So I just wanted to hear your prep talk about the Gators. I'll let you prep talk, get me amped as well. So I'm excited for Thursday and looking to wait for that. One more quick hits about Stone right quick, and I want to get Paul's opinion on this. A little bit of basketball segment at the end. You've been watching U.S. men's basketball team. What's your thoughts on the build-up of the team?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I didn't even know it was happening until the other day. I had not a clue. And then I saw the roster, and I was reminded why.
There you go.
So, I mean, go USA?
Kev,
America?
Kev, I heard your thoughts. What's your thoughts? You want to tell the people, because I know you already talked about it on Twitter. What's your thoughts about the team?
Gone
You already
are the
told me.
days. Gone are the days of when America goes out and beats the shit out of people from the start of the game to the end of the game. These guys make you sweat a little bit before they end up pulling away from people. Gone are the days. Now everybody is sweating because they think Austin Reeves is the best player on this team. If you think Austin Reeves is the best player on USA basketball, what the hell has happened to USA basketball? Because guess what, people? Reeves isn't the best player on that team. I will tell you the best player on this team, and it's going to make somebody on here smile. The best player on this team is Pablo. He is the best player on this team, point blank, bar none. Him and Anthony. Those are the 2 best players on this team.
Jalen Brunson's not terrible.
No, those 2 are the 2 best guys on the team.
So I would add this, because as you guys heard, I'm gonna be up at 4:00 probably watching the game.
You was gonna be up. You was gonna be up whether that other shit happened or not.
Yeah.
Let's not lie to the people.
Nah, for sure. Nah, this team is particularly very young. They went very young with him. Honestly, I kind of said this on Twitter. I'm very disappointed with Brandon Ingram. A lot of these guys that got on this team is very ISO heavy. They need the balls in their hand, and it's quite an adjustment for some of these. So, Brandon Ingram, who always is going to run out the pick and roll and can run at the top of the key, and he has a ball in his hands, he can make the play. Because Zion Williamson been hurt for about 3/4 of his career in the NBA, so he used to having the ball in his hand. Jalen Brunson also, he's had one good game, but the other 3 games he's kind of been spotty. Michael Bridges, he got to get shots up because he's a shooter. He's not making his shots. So it's guys like, Anthony Edwards that drives to the rim. He's out physical. So it seems like, as Kevin mentioned, our physical guys are probably our better guys. Jaren Jackson Jr. is also physical, but he gets in foul trouble. He gambles a lot. And so he said a crazy quote talking about, well, I'm not going to be over aggressive. No, it's not about being aggressive. It's about picking your spots, man. Like, you can't go ahead after every block. And I don't know, that's something that the Memphis coach need to kind of keen down on, but I'm hoping that Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra and all these talented coaches that got on the USA roster kind of like down, man, like, no, pick and choose your spots. Like, but no, so this team is, the shooting is suspect. They're not really a good shooting team. And their bench seem to be better than the starters.
They are. It's because they are.
I know we ragged on Austin Reeves not being the best. Now Austin Reeves is hooping. I will give him that. He is playing. It's just that whole, of course,
white guy,
for the Lakers,
and he's white.
But Kevin said it. I didn't say it, but he plays
he's
for the
Lakers. He's a Laker, and he's white. That is exactly why he's getting all that shit. If Tyler Hero played for the fucking Lakers, he would get way more shit than fucking Austin Reeves has got. I'm just going to say that right now. Why? Because he's white and he plays for the Lakers. Yeah. That's it.
Is there not
the only reason why he's getting that way?
Is there not another eligible white guy that could have made the team? That's the
Well, they
deeper
got-
conversation.
No, because there's not an eligible white guy on the Lakers. There's not a white guy on the Lakers. You have to be a white guy, and you have to play for the Lakers. That way LeBron can tweet about you, and then everybody can suck off LeBron and the guy that plays for the Lakers. That's why he's out there.
So I would tell you this. Hey, now listen.
All right.
Like,
Look, you done got me started on now I'm mad about USA basketball.
I'm sorry. Listen.
I went from
there's some
football
good-
high to basketball
Cortez,
low.
you done made a veteran mad about USA basketball.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
God darn it.
But
Now I got to root.
Well, listen. I would tell you this. Germany's coming, bro. Germany's got a good team, and like they gonna challenge USA again. They gonna be. It's gonna be between those two.
My favorite part about the whole thing is watching Luka put his whole damn country on his back and just go out
Luka's
there,
eating, bro.
just go out there and play basketball. Like
Yeah,
this dude's
I
like,
just looked up the top white guys in the NBA, and none of them are American. So I guess Austin Reeves has to do it.
no,
But no, Kevin, you ain't lying. Luka is eating. That dude is eating, man.
Luka is like, I put country on my back and go play basketball.
Is Dragic playing? I don't think I seen him play.
No, I don't think he is. Man, Goran's 97 years old right now. Goran, this is what Goran's doing right now. He's sitting by the phone waiting. So if the Damian Lillard trade ever happens, he's going to go join the Heat as the backup point guard. That's exactly what he's doing. He's just sitting there waiting. He's already said it on a podcast. He was like, I'm just waiting.
I didn't see him play because I know usually that 1-2 combo between him and Luka.
Nah, he's waiting.
They could have been a medal game.
He's waiting by a phone.
Dominican Republic looks good with Carl-Anthony Towns. They look solid. Like there's a few good.
Who's the
teams
kid that
that's
plays
going
for the
on.
Philippines?
Philippines. Tall guys, short guy.
No, he's a well-known NBA player, and he plays for the Philippines.
Oh, you talking about Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah, I'm like, he's Filipino. Like,
Yeah, I didn't even know that until I'm like, oh,
I'm
he's
like,
Filipino?
is it his mom? It better be his
Listen,
mom.
Hey, I didn't even know Eric Gordon was from Bahamas, and he's playing with the Bahamas team with DeAndre Ayton and who's the other guy? Oh, Buddy Hill. So,
Aaron Gordon's playing for the Bahamas.
Eric.
No, Eric. My bad, Eric Gordon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Aaron Gordon was there. I was like, Aaron Gordon kind of looks like he belongs in the Bahamas, but
I mean, he will enjoy some recreational activities out there in the Bahamas.
and that hairdo fit right in.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Right, well-
no, it's just I'm like, you watch it and you're like, okay, this is the best we can send out there, when we know it's not the best we can send out there. But now nobody wants to play in it anymore.
No, they wait till the Olympics. That's what they do every year.
It doesn't have that.
All these other rookies and everybody else like that, and then they'll send the A team over. So like LeBron will probably be playing again, and then you'll have all these other big names that be playing.
No,
again.
we don't
So-
need LeBron playing again. He'll go over there in crutches next time. Jesus Christ.
Man, LeBron snuck his way onto this podcast twice.
Very unfortunately.
That's me. Hey, one of them is me. My bad.
Yeah,
So,
one of them was me, and I always promised not to say that name.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that should be a good note to end it there. So let's close this bad boy up. Once again, Kevin Carter and Mr. Paul Mack. Y'all want to give y'all Twitter @names and have the people follow y'all.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Paul.
Kev. Oh,
No, you go
thanks.
first.
Thanks.
You're the guest.
Oh, shucks. You're the man with no face. You could...
It's okay. It's okay. They know my voice.
Okay, got it.
We want to see your face. We want to see your face.
It's on the
you
freaking
got-
picture.
Yeah,
It ain't my fault that Cortez made it so tiny you can't see it.
It's handsome. You're handsome. It's fine.
Yeah,
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep. Yes, sir. But no, I mean, if you care enough, I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter, @the_Paul_Mac. I'll say things from time to time. If you care, but as I said, football season. I'll be tweeting a lot. Pushing underdog fantasy this year. So if you guys don't know a lot about that, it's daily fantasy football. You can win some money doing some parlays. So it's not gambling, quote unquote. So it is legal in the state of Florida and in pretty much all 50 states. But just prop picks, so over unders, stuff like that. So I'll be tweeting out promo codes and things like that to get you guys some deposit bonuses and all that kind of stuff. But if you just want to get away from the volatile world of the internet, I'm in there somewhere. So _Paul_back on Twitter, and
not Twitter,
yeah, or X. Sorry, X.
Twitter X. Well, hey, he's gonna be more of a regular now. So just y'all be acquainted with Paul.
Do they have peanut butter parlays? Oh no, that's parfaits. My bad. I'm sorry.
Kevin, will you do with peanut butter? It's your business, pal.
Yeah, plug the people into your X or Twitter.
You can find me on Triple X. No, I'm just kidding. That's my OnlyFans page.
OnlyFans.com.
Yeah, OnlyFans. It's my OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
Balls in something else podcast. Oh. Balls deep podcast. No, sorry, that went totally right off. But you can find me at Kevin C2415. Football season coming on. I'll sit there and complain, whine, bitch, and moan about the refs all year long.
Definitely, guys.
And if you want to, I'll complain about USA basketball. There you go.
There you go. He's on there. So X, you can find me at _CP. So we'll be on there. We'll be doing this. Try to do this every week for sure. It's going to be fun having these guys back on and try to reach out and get more guests on and have an open dialogue. So I'm super excited to see where we're going with here. I actually got hats made in my closet that I need to give to Paul and Kev. So, and it is
I'll see you Saturday.
It's got the Ben build this time, Kev. So
yay, Ben!
Yeah, it's got the Ben build. So when I come to Jacksonville, I give it to you, and then whenever I link up with Paul, I'm gonna get him the hat too. So
can we get swag?
Yeah, you get swag, man. Swagoo, baby.
Man.
So
just don't let Paul ride in your car.
Why you can't ride in my car?
Because if you stop and it's hot outside and he lets one go, it's terrible when you get back in the car.
Just because you got rolled down windows, it's not my fault, man.
No, that was terrible. I thought we were going to die when we got done with basketball.
All right. So let me close this up.
Better out than in, Kevin. Better out than in, pal.
Not in my car. You could have waited while we were playing and then just moved somebody out of the way with it.
All right. So let's wrap this up. You can find the podcast on X and IG at BOC Podcast. Facebook and type in Balls on Court Podcast. YouTube, we're going to put this on YouTube, so we'll be there at BIOC Podcast. Excited to go on YouTube, so make sure you click, like, subscribe to the video, and we'll get more content out there. Once again, I want to thank my co-hosts Kevin Carter and Paul Mack for joining. This is Cortez Paul. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Appreciate you.
And everybody be safe. Don't get blown away.